Hey, how's it going everyone? OutlawClient here, back again this week with another episode of A Bit of Shooting on the Side. This week, continuing on with Bioshock Online Battles. Now, I know a lot of you might be looking at the title and be thinking, Outlaw, why did you entitle this Road to Level 50 when you've clearly been level 50 for every single bit of gameplay that I've uploaded with Bioshock 2? Now, the thing is that, in case if you don't know, Bioshock 2 had a piece of DLC that was released, I believe maybe a month or two after the full game was released, and what the DLC had was that it allowed you to increase the level limit from 40 to 50, and it also included a new function known as the rebirth function, which you'll probably be seeing on the screen very shortly. Or no, you've probably already seen on the screen, but the rebirth function essentially resets your character back to level 1. Now, I know that sounds completely ridiculous, but you get a few good things. I mean, you get a golden mask, you also get like a little logo for your, it's displayed a little logo next to your rank, it has those little lines coming out the side of it, and you also get a nice little achievement, a hidden achievement, which I believe is 50 gamer points. Is it worth it? Not a chance, but the thing is, I thought it would be nice starting over again, maybe starting a little series like my Road to 50 series or something like that. But the thing is that the reason why I didn't restart sooner, because I practically reached level 50 back in 2013 or something, but the reason why is because when I first started out, every time I'd click that button, I mean, I'd get a secret achievement, alright. The secret achievement I'd got just involved the game freezing and, with a nice buzzing sound, but no, I mean, I just steered clear of it for a good year or so. But luckily, I tried it the other day and it worked fine. I decided to record it, just in case, and it paid off. It seemed to work fine, and I got the achievement and everything. Everything was all good. But anyway, as you might have guessed by being reset back to level 1, you actually lose your weapons, plasmids, and tonics. So you're practically weak again. Yeah, you're a complete amateur. But another huge disadvantage of that is that in a game such as Bioshock 2, the online mode, barely anyone really plays it. So as you can imagine, a lot of the times you'll be matched up against really high level opponents, even if you're like level 1. For example, in my case, I'm up against 3 level 50s, so at the moment it is a serious uphill struggle. I mean, look, have I even got a single kill yet? No, I don't think I have, but I've got plenty of deaths, so yeah, I'm not lacking in the death department. But anyway, like I was saying, it can be a real uphill struggle, and I don't even think it's worth going into single game modes such as last splicers standing, because again, you're just going to get torn apart by much higher ranked people. So yeah, I'd say level up a bit before you start going into individuals. But again, in Civil War, which is pretty much team deathmatch, you'll have to rely a lot on your teammates as well, because again, like I was saying, you're really weak and you haven't got too many power-ups. I mean, at the moment I think I only had 2 tonics, and neither of them did anything to help me with attack, so yeah, pretty much a sitting duck at this point. But again, in this match you'll see that I managed to pull through a bit, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, I had a really bad start, as you saw. I mean, I think I got 3 or 4 deaths, but luckily the match actually went on to be quite an intense one, and quite a good match. But yeah, that's all that. But anyway, I also wanted to talk a bit about another game, which is, not another game, but I want to talk about the Bioshock game series as a whole. And now, Ken Levine actually announced back in February that Irrational Games is practically no more, since he moved over to Take-Two in order to develop heavily story-driven digital downloadable games. Which, I don't know, I guess is his decision. I'm sure they'll be alright games. I mean, he has really good writing, but of course a lot of people, after hearing that, a lot of people were wondering, well, what does this mean for the future of Bioshock? I mean, with no more Infinity games, no more Irrational Games, what would happen to the Bioshock series? But luckily, it was announced that 2K was taking over, so it's nothing to worry about. I'm sure there'll be more Bioshock games in the future, especially considering the critical and commercial success of the previous 3 Bioshock games. Infinite didn't sell as well as they wanted it to, but it was still a huge success, and it's selling copies even till this day, so I'm sure it will reach critical acclaim levels, commercial success levels. But anyway, I was wondering, what do you guys think would the next Bioshock game would be like. I mean, do you think they've exhausted the whole setting of Rapture? I mean, they've had Bioshock 1, we've had Bioshock 2, and we've had, you know, we've even had like Minerva's Den DLC, which has expanded on the Rapture story. But if I had to support going back to Rapture again, I guess the Minerva's Den DLC would probably be the biggest piece of, well, the biggest supporter to this idea. I mean, the fact that Minerva's Den had like an entirely new story, like one that wasn't even mentioned in the single player of Bioshock 1 or 2. It was, you know, to do with Subject Sigma, Porter and the Thinker, and I have to admit, I think it was a really well put together piece of DLC. I mean, it had a nice plot twist in there, and it just, you know, kept you, it got you thinking, really. It pretty much got you thinking. Well, it got me thinking a lot of the time, and I actually enjoyed this more than the main Bioshock 2 story. So again, if that's any piece of, if you need any evidence that another story in Rapture could work, then look no further, because Minerva's DLC, I think they pulled it off very well. But what do you think? Do you think they have exhausted it too much? I mean, you might think that we need a completely different setting, sort of like Bioshock Infinite set in Colombia. I mean, I really did like Bioshock Infinite, but for me, it didn't really have that you know, that survival horror type feel that the original Bioshocks did. I mean, it's just the fact that you felt so isolated, being all the way under the sea on your own, and I really did like that type of setting. I mean, Bioshock Infinite is a survivor, but I think a large portion of the horror, has just disappeared. But again, still a very enjoyable game. Story-wise, I preferred it over Bioshock 2. Not so much Bioshock 1, but definitely over Bioshock 2. Although I think Bioshock 2 excels. Well, it pretty much wins in terms of gameplay. But anyway, who knows? Well, I mean, what do you guys think about the new Bioshock game? Will it be a return to Rapture, or a new setting entirely? Maybe even expansion on Columbia, who knows? But without Ken Levine, the writer / creative director, of course I don't think the story will be as complex, but hey, who knows, maybe they can get someone in to do a really nice story. Of course I'd love to see that. But anyway, moving back to the actual gameplay footage. Now, as you can see, it really has been, well, it was really quite a rough start for me right at the beginning, because as I was saying, since I was like, what, level 5 I believe, I mean, I skipped over a few games because I won all my first matches, but it was really boring matches, to be honest. It was either us winning by a long shot, or, you know, opponents leaving the game, so there was only like 2 other people on the other team, and I was like walking around the map aimlessly for a good amount of time. But anyway, like I was saying, I didn't really do all that well. I had quite a rough start, mostly because of the uphill struggle that I was talking about, being such a low level. And of course, since the weapons, tonics and plasmids are all reset when you go back to level 1, I only had the standard shotgun, which, to be honest, at times I kept thinking that I could rapid fire it still, but obviously that wasn't the case, and I ended up dying in a few cases, such as like there, I thought I had the crossbow, but of course I changed to the pistol, and I realised that the pistol couldn't do nearly as much damage, so yeah, I died pretty much. Yeah, true story there, guys. But anyway, I'm actually using the shotgun in conjunction with the freeze plasmid. I was actually about to say the Old Man Winter. I keep thinking of Old Man Winter. See, that's what happens when you play too much Bioshock Infinite. But no, I decided to use the freeze plasmid. Is it called freeze? Oh my god, I keep forgetting the names of these plasmids. I mean, that's like the, what, winter, is it Winter Blast? God, I can't even remember. But anyway, so I'm using the plasmid, the freeze plasmid, and when used in conjunction with the shotgun, it actually, well, not just in conjunction with the shotgun, but in general, it lowers the enemies' defenses. But anyway, so there we go, that's the match finished. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed watching this, please leave a comment, like and subscribe, and I will be back next week with some more Bioshock 2 gameplay footage, maybe having a few more Bioshock 2 discussions and, you know, all that sort of stuff. But anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Peace out.